Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Mindset Kitchen podcast with your host, Sheyaf Hashim, and my man Kareem. Hey Kareem, what's up? Welcome back to another episode. What's up? How's it going?
Welcome back, Chef Bro. Yeah, all good, all good. We're recording back-to-back episodes. In case people are wondering why I didn't change my t-shirt, that is the reason. If you're watching us on IGTV or YouTube or somewhere else. And yeah, bro, excited to jump into today's topic. And if you just heard our last episode and you're binge watching these, hopefully one day, this is yeah, welcome back. Welcome back.
I hope we are worth binge watching, and I think people find us binge watch worthy. I don't know how you call it, but anyways, so first things first. Before we start, as usual, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications,
Smash it.
Smash it, as they say, and be nice. And don't be nice also. If you don't like something, just write it out, leave a comment. And I've noticed this quite often with some of the listeners. Yeah, I think a lot of people I've seen a couple of times, they leave comments and they delete them. And some of them, it's a good comment. And I don't know, people get worried, if they're going to be, I think we appreciate comments. All the comments that you receive, you usually get in DMs. It's completely fine to actually leave a comment. Especially
the more harsh, the better, man.
The more harsh, the better. We are all about the learning, me and Kareem. Don't worry about it. So leave a comment, be nice, don't be nice. Just let us know, what you guys think. And if you are listening, I personally, even though I know some people who are using Apple iPhones, I tell them, but the best way I've seen to listen is use the Google Podcasts app. It even actually give you, if we talk about some books or some topics, it immediately shows you a recommendation on that book, on the person that we're discussing about. It's quite cool. And when you subscribe, it also gives you a notification. So guys, as that is out of the picture, and let's get started. So today we have an interesting topic, and this topic, like we said, is a topic that has been requested by one of our listeners. And
do you want to say the name of the listener?
Yeah, so Aisha is from India, Aisha Dilna. So she's somebody I know, and she requested for two topics. So this is the first topic, Aisha. We've like we keep saying, we listen to your feedback, and we're going to do this topic for you.
Yep.
So one of the question she was asking, or she said, can you talk about the concept of many people have a challenge saying no, okay? And they constantly find themselves. And earlier part of my life, I personally suffered a lot from it. And I'm sure, Kareem, you have untold tales.
Untold, bro.
Untold tales. And just before the podcast began, the recording began, I was asking Kareem, bro, he's like, I'm getting good at saying no. So today's episode, we're going to call it The Art of Saying No.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's the art of saying no. So, Kareem, you get started, bro. So, let's see what the problem is. What happens when you can't say no? What kind of potential trouble do you actually get into? And I will say the benefits of not saying no. I mean, saying no.
Okay, and I say the disadvantages, or I'm confused.
Tell me, how can you get in trouble? Okay, tell me personally, how have you got in trouble in your life? Like things that you
because
can
I
recall.
don't say no. Yeah,
because of not saying, because you said yes to a situation where you should have said no.
Oh my God, man. This is like the story of my life right here. But to keep it short, I came across this sentence the other day that pretty much summarizes the whole thing, which is whenever you say, you're always saying no to something, okay? So if you're saying yes to something, what are you saying no to, okay? And this is such a, and I want to let this sink in. Like every time you say yes to something, okay, yes to something that you really would rather not do, what are you saying no to, okay? Because there's an opportunity cost to everything that you do. And going back to my life, Chef, as per your question, like, man, you know me, man. I try to be nice, right? Like I'm always trying to please people, to avoid confrontation. Like I'm just trying to have a good time. I like to think I'm an agreeable person. And, it's tough for me to say no because, like, why rock the boat? Like, the other person is peaceful. They're inviting me to go out or to do whatever, whatever.
Going out, there we go. Go ahead, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, going out. Favors is a big topic because it's a double-edged sword. So yeah, favors, and just stuff in general, like work related, not work related, especially work related, because most of us, if you're working, right, naturally it's 9 to 5 or any variation of that. You can argue that most of the time that you're like in touch with, let's say, people like that, is really during work. So we should talk about this as well, bro. Like saying no at work without getting in trouble. But yeah, I mean, it's just something that I realized. Whenever you keep saying yes to certain things, you're also saying no to a lot of things that maybe could be a lot more important. But sometimes it's not so obvious right now. Like if someone says, "Oh, can I pick your mind for something for 30 minutes?" and you're like, "Yeah, sure," because in this very second or this very moment, this is the only inbound request that's coming in. So you're like, I'm free. Yeah, sure. How can I help? Or do you want to go out with us? And you're like, yeah, well, it'd be awkward if I say no and everyone else is going. I should probably go to that thing. So it's tough. So I definitely empathize with people who try and say yes because for them the goal is no, I'm trying to build a relationship. Like I want to say yes because I want to maintain like peace and positivity and relationships. So I get that part, but and I'll hand it over to you now, Sheyaf. I'll just say that every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else.
I don't know, Kareem. You've been very smart and you kind of did not answer, but you made a very good point though. About each time you say yes, you're saying no to something, but it's perfectly fine, bro. But bro, while you were saying,
I did answer though.
Yeah, you did answer it, but it's good, bro. You get creative, bro. You're a very creative person.
Okay, you go.
But two things that come to my mind. Yeah, one is my personal experience, which I'm going to spill all over this podcast right now, and before that, I remember this movie called Yes Man of Jim Carrey, bro.
Yes.
Okay, and he goes to one. He goes to one of this Tony Robbins kind of event. Okay, like a motivational, nothing against Tony Robbins. Okay, and he goes, and that event's whole theme was about saying yes. And this guy takes it literally to a whole different level. And from the time he steps out, he just says yes. Like he takes it to another extent. So long story short, within like a week's time, this guy's homeless, jobless, he's broke, and his life has gone upside down. Okay, so keep this thought in mind. Now coming back to me, if the same question I was to answer, when I was 17, 18, 19 and 20, this 3-4 years, I was like quite like so much energy. Yeah, even now I have like bits and pieces of that energy, but I was all about like, I want to conquer the world. I want to do a lot of things. I want to help so much people. So I was like just out there. So everybody, for example, I remember when I was 17, people would actually call me and tell, what, Sheyaf, can you please, this weekend, can you come and help me out with this? I'm like, yeah, why not? And I was all about learning something new. Yeah. So what I was ending up doing was I was actually helping them something, which is their part of their business. Most of the time, 80% of the time, what people are doing is people are taking advantage of me. In the sense, they were taking my time and they were making money out of it. I never realized, like, I would be that person, who would ask me to introduce and broker a deal. It could be for a website, it could be for selling a car. Bro, I was into everything, selling laptops, whatever. And I would be that nice person in between, do everything, and the sale happens, and I'd be like, okay, bro, thank you. Hey, good. I still remember once my dad telling me this. I'm like, Sheyaf, why do you spend so much time like this where, it does not benefit you at all? I'm like, no, Dad, I'm just like helping out. But later I realized some of these people are actually taking the juice out of me. Yeah. Yeah. And this is one. Second thing is Kareem, you just mentioned. Yeah. So when you don't say no, okay, this is something else. People taking advantage. Other thing is, there is this concept of time vampires. Yeah.
Time
we
what?
all, vampires usually suck your blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have this time vampires. I think we discuss about this in givers, takers, and matchers, because this whole episode.
Time out of you.
Yeah, so these are people exactly like you said, right? Can I just pick your brain? In my LinkedIn, right, bro? I have messages like this where people have messaged me like this. Can I just pick your brain can I come meet you like so and so day? I just want to pick your brain for 20 minutes on everything marketing and branding. bro, there was a time where I would, now if I get a message, like it triggers me. I get triggered.
Calm
You
down,
know?
man.
No, bro, because
You reply in caps lock.
exactly, like I would put my caps lock on, I would go instant keyboard warrior mode.
Yeah. Step 1,
Because-
caps lock on. Step 2, why are you doing this?
No, bro. But that is what I want to do, but I don't go all batshit crazy. But so I'm saying, see, the people who are doing this, right, most of them, they are not evil, bro. They don't know. But I think the underlying problem is people themselves don't value their time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Can you
People-
please say that again slowly?
Yeah. People don't value their own time because this is something I learned recently working with a professional, professional performance coach. Okay, she told me something very interesting. Like anything that you see people doing wrong to you or to others, okay, usually they are doing that to themselves first.
Projecting, yeah.
Yeah. So if somebody is not thanking you, somebody is not showing, like taking you for granted, they don't value you, okay, and somebody who is not valuing your time, all this starts from them. So they
They
themselves
don't value their own time.
on time, on energy, they don't respect themselves, whatever. Okay. So if you start looking at it, bit of empathetic angle is one. Second thing is, when people actually call you for things like this, one of the problems, like Kareem said, the most common thing is when you're in university or when you're a student. Okay, some of you, like out of 10, maybe 2 are like super focused. They want to actually do stuff. One thing I've actually seen is these people who are actually overachievers, right, in university, they have very few friends. The reason is they keep saying no to all these unwanted hangouts. Not all are unwanted, but majority of them you can live without.
Yeah.
I've always seen this. Like many of my interns or interns I've worked with, or other interns or people I've actually seen who've actually really excelled at something. There was some part of their life where they actually had a fallout, a lot of their friends, because they were too focused on something. Because sometimes,
100%,
when you're even at work, beautiful example. If you remember from givers, takers, and matchers, you said, if you remember, the most successful people are givers, and the most unsuccessful one are also givers.
Are givers, yep.
And at the workplace, the people who actually do the most favors are usually the ones, they don't end up doing their own work. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to clarify something on that as well, is that it's all about the art of that, because sometimes you could it doesn't mean that there should be a limit. You're 100% right. There should be a quote unquote limit to you, but to you, let's say doing favors for others. But there's smart ways to play it. It's not binary. It's not yes or no. So you could go ahead. I think we're going to say the same thing.
No, go ahead, bro. I'm sure.
Okay. I was going to say that, like, let's say, you already, one of the things, just to show you that I know what you're going to say, 5-minute favors. Okay. If you guys haven't checked out this episode yet, Givers and Takers, please check it out. It's one of the first ones we've done. But basically, you helping someone, you can still achieve the goal of helping someone, okay, and not saying no, but you can do it in a smart way. You can do it in a way where it's like, okay, you asked me for something, I'm going to give you a solution in the form of an introduction to someone else who maybe I have already helped before. They know the way, okay? Or if you're listening to 2020 and you're feeling modern, this doesn't always apply in all cases, but it's actually, Sheyaf, I don't know about you, bro, but like, just drawing from my professional life, sometimes you record a video for a process. Someone asks me a question, bro, here's a video, to watch. And this video could be great because it's literally a human, walking you through something. So how do you scale giving? This could be a great way to say no, if you think about it, because it didn't take you any more time, but still say yes to that person, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think Kareem, this is, you went like super technical, bro, like in the sense which is, but the first step, for example, for many people, right? But this is for me and Kareem, this is very much practical because Kareem does this and I've also done this quite a lot. Yeah, we do this 5-minute favors. But where I'm coming from, right? Like, for example, many people I know, the biggest problem they are in, and people who are like extremely close to me, many of them, like who will be listening to this podcast, also, I know their biggest problem is they cannot say no. Okay, for example, going out is just an example. Okay, it's like things they don't want to do. Okay, like for example, I don't actually want to go out with a person. Okay, I don't really enjoy this person's company. Okay, now Sheyaf being Sheyaf, khalas, you call me, if I don't like you, I will say, you know what, bro, sorry, I can't come.
Especially and when once you add tradition and culture, like all of us, wherever you're listening to in the world, you have traditions and cultures.
Yeah, you add some cultural stuff to it. But
sometimes it makes it more complex, right? It's like, it's rude to say no.
But still, end of the day, for me, yeah, bro, we also come from very similar cultures, but it all depends the kind of person I'm actually talking to. Okay, but even with the culture, sometimes you play around with it, but the thing that many people make mistake, for example, is trying to be not politically correct, like culturally correct, right? Sometimes they still don't end up conveying the message, because what happens, there are some, for example, time wasters or takers, for example, yeah. Even if you tell them in a nice manner, like, you know what, I'm busy, it's okay, you come. Or, I don't have the time, the energy, no, it's okay. No, I don't know about this, it's okay, let's find out together. Like, whatever you give them, they'll always come back to you with something that, the only thing at last, and they know definitely that you'll not, draw a line and say, this is it. So one of the how I changed this around is, bro, personally, how I changed this around is, there were a few people like this in my life at a particular stage. I'm talking about 7, 8, 9 years, where I was spending a lot of time with. And what was happening is, how you know where this time is going to waste is two ways, according to me. One is, definitely from the get-go, you don't want to spend time, or you don't want to engage with this person or the request, entertain. Secondly is, you are spending a lot of time, you're encouraging the request, you feel stuck. You totally lose interest.
Especially if you've already set this sort of precedent in the beginning.
Yeah, so you feel stuck. So one of the ways I actively started, like, 5-minute favors was the difference, like a step later. First, I started practicing to say no. Like,
how did
literally,
you practice?
Yeah, two ways again. One was, I literally, I did not want to lie. Okay, some people, I don't entertain people lying. So one of the things somebody told me is to replace, if somebody is going to ask you, can I just call you for 5 minutes, 10 minutes? I would say, you know what, I'm busy right now, when I'm not. Okay, I can say this and just cut it off. But what happens is, later on, those people will come back. They will ask you if they're smart about it. They'll ask you, okay, when are you free? So there is a limit of how much you can lie. Okay. So lying does not usually work. Another way I actually do it right now is, I have my days and weeks planned really well. So if someone calls me something work related, I will tell them in between 6, if I have a free slot, right? If my day is completely planned, nobody can just call me out of the blue. If you call me out of the blue, I will tell you from this time to this time, this is what I'm actually doing. I'll be busy with this.
Yeah.
And then say, okay, I'll call you after 6. Sorry, bro. 6 to 10 is family time. Literally.
I love that.
So sometimes,
and people will respect that. They'll be like, okay, this person has a system. I don't have a system, but they have a system. So I'm gonna. It's the same time. It's the same way you respect the opening hours of a shop. You don't go wait outside Dunkin' Donuts, say, why are you not open yet? Like, no, you respect the opening hours.
And it also comes down to this, and back then the case was, you're always, you feel like you become like a 24/7 shop, where people can, you become like an e-com, bro. Like, you become a 7-Eleven or like an e-com. So one of the things you can ideally do is, you need to, the first tip of how to learn how to say no is, start planning yourself. And second thing is, you have to start saying no. Like, until you get good at this eventually. Because
don't be 7-Eleven.
Don't be 7-Elevens. Tell people, and you might be thinking, this might be, if you're in a relationship, this might be your somebody who's very close to you, it might be a friend. You need to build a system around it. Like, for example, you can plan yourself better. And eventually what happens, if there is a person I don't want to give time to, I'm not all interested in engaging with, once I make these excuses twice or thrice, they understand, they get a point.
Yeah. It is what it is. Yeah,
it is what it is.
And just Sheyaf, just to add to that as well, before I forget, because I have short-term memory these days. What's it called? And I don't know if I told you about like a few weekends ago, I banged my head against something, and
You
ever
did not
since
tell me.
then I'm like trying to focus a bit more. But long story short, it's, one of the ways to cut this out is to I think the book was, I didn't read this book, but I know of it. It's called the willpower myth, something like that, I want to say. And it talks about how again, long story short, willpower is not really a thing. It's kind of like a myth. The best way to develop willpower is to just don't put yourself in this pressuring position in the beginning and just focus on the environment. So if you really want to cut down on sugars, okay, well, build an environment. Let's say you're at home where you don't even have sugar, so there's no conflict. Like, you don't make it hard, make it easy for yourself. So if we were to apply this to what you're talking about, and this is something that I've been doing lately, which is why I've been getting better at saying no, is actually just limiting the input. Like, let's say if someone wants to get in touch with me, how can they get in touch? Well, you have my email. Someone can have my email, my
Yeah,
WhatsApp.
don't make it so
my
easy
number.
for them.
Yeah, LinkedIn. So people should count the number of ways that people can get in touch with them, right? And then, as Chef was saying, like, figure out ways where, for example, you're gonna turn notifications off, or you're gonna turn airplane mode on, or you're only gonna have a time where you check all these notifications in bulk. For example, you can say, you know what, I'm gonna check my email. Now, I don't do this. I'm trying to do this, but to check my email once in the morning and once at night, and that is it. And so if something comes in, I'm not gonna be refreshing my email like every 10-15 minutes, but rather it's something that I'm going to get to by, let's say, 5 p.m. And let's say I finish up at like 5:30. So if I see something at 5, I could be like, okay, well, hey, like, basically come up with a solution for it that's booked for a predetermined time in the
Yeah,
future.
yeah.
And that's it. And sometimes, you even tell them, okay, well, I'm happy to help, but there's more than one way to help. It could be, send me your questions by email, okay, and I'll address it. Or you could have one last thing. I could, they could have asked a question about something that you've already done in the past. It could be, again, forgive me, but I'm thinking from a marketing perspective. It could be something you wrote a blog about, something you created a video about, or something that you had a conversation with someone about. Challenge yourself and figure out make it a game. All these smart people who only reply with like one sentence, and that sentence has all the information. I'm always so impressed at these people. Send you like 4 words, and those 4 words like explain the entire universe. And each word is like a different hyperlink. It's like so smart, like word choice. Try to be like that. Try to get to a stage where you're like, here's an answer to your question, blog or video or person. Sorry, bro, I cut you off.
No, bro. I think those are some. It all comes down to. I think it's very much similar to what the pointers I gave us. It's all end of the day coming down to building that discipline within yourself first.
Yeah.
Secondly,
100%.
you need to build that mentality. You need to build that. I don't know the grit. What the word is. You need to be a bit more firm and strong. Strong-willed, or whatever you want to actually call it. Where when the time comes, you have to actually say no. And the best way is usually being aware of situations. So if you are listening to this, we give a lot of tips here and there. Yeah. Try and understand the list of the frequent people. Okay. See, I'm not also saying all of these people who are usually taking your time or always ask you for favors where you can't say no are bad people as well. Maybe, like I said, they themselves don't know what they are doing. Yeah. But the first thing is make a list of, generally, if you're an individual, what are the situations? Who are the people? Okay. And usually how badly this has affected you. Usually if you write these things down each time when you said yes, like write down the last 3 incidents where you actually said yes. Yeah. And how it has actually affected you. Secondly, you have to actually practice saying no. One very important thing I remember reading this long back, it's just coming to me, is sometimes it's easier said than done. Yeah, you're talking about a friend, especially a friend that you've known for like 15 years, 20 years, and they always come to you with their problems. Yeah. And sometimes you are not the person equipped to actually solve this problem for them. Or maybe you've actually given them the solution hundreds of times, but some people, they just don't learn, they don't listen, and they keep coming back to you and they'll say, I just wanted to listen. And what happens is, in the process, you get completely cooked. It affects your mood. This happens quite a lot as well. And there are, so coming back to the point is, learn to say no and try to understand the persuasion techniques they use. Some of them use guilt usually. Oh, you're not my friend. Are you not going to give me time? Are you going to be busy?
Yeah, I'm not your friend. Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
I'm not a
exactly
friend
right.
anymore. Stuff. So this is one of the most standard angles.
Yeah.
And you know, Kareem, my biggest like personal experience is when I started practicing this, right? People start, especially people in my circle. Oh, especially, you know, the Asian, like the cultures I cover. Oh, he's got attitude, or he's now somebody else. He's a busy guy. If anything, bro, people who I'm really close to, I've spent more time with them, like literally. But everybody else who's actually complaining this for me are people who've actually just been taking my time.
And can I
And
say
generally-
something? If
Yeah.
they don't respect that, then do you really want? This is
Exactly,
I'm being
bro.
serious now. Do
So
you really
I
want them
don't-
in your life if they don't
Yeah, so-
respect that?
I don't want to put it out there in that manner, because most of the time this is what it actually comes down to.
Yeah.
Okay. And most of the people, they struggle to get out of this. So it could happen in your personal life with people that you know. It could happen in
Yeah.
your workplace. It could happen everywhere. And the faster you actually put a stop to it, the better it's actually for you. And end of the day, you know, the more knows that, like what Kareem said, what you're saying yes to, you know, it also has an effect on all the stuff that you said no to. So whatever you're saying no to, indirectly you are saying yes to a lot of things. Yes to your family, yes to your personal time, yes to learning new stuff, yes
Thank
to
you. Exactly.
exploring new stuff.
And just to add to that as well, because and by the way, a lot of businesses do this, so you can bring this concept to your personal life as well. If you notice a trend, like Sheyaf, if you notice a trend where people tend to come to you with similar requests, try to think of yourself as like a company or business. See if you can come up with an FAQ for yourself. Hey, so
Create
one of the
one,
questions
serve many, bro. The
Thank
episode
you. Exactly.
Yeah, we discuss about this, but definitely, guys. So here, okay, we took this particular task. You know, we've discussed what are the benefits. Like, there's no actually the benefits of saying no is for me personally has always been paramount compared to not saying yes. Okay, every time I've been on a streak of saying yes, I've always had a lot of problems personally. But anyways. Do definitely listen to, if you've not listened to Givers, Takers and Matchers, listen to this episode. This speaks a lot about, people generally who take up a lot of your time. We speak about what about this profile, and you also try to understand, we speak about giving, selfless giving and controlled giving. A lot of pointers are there in that episode as well. So
yeah, and one more thing to add as well is going back to the FAQ thing, because I think it's really important. Is really, you don't have to have came up with all the answers. So let's say I'm a fitness guru, which I'm not, but let's say people are banging down my door saying, Kareem, we need fitness advice, bro. Maybe I never had the chance to do whatever, like a video on fitness, but maybe in my bookmarks, mentally or physically, I could be like, okay, well, there's this one YouTube video for whatever, abs workouts, okay? Just send them that, And guess what? You would have fulfilled. It's a win-win situation. You saved your time, cost you 0 time, and for them, you managed to say, as far as they're concerned, it's a type of yes for them because you've answered their question, and you could literally do that. I mean, if they're asking you a question about something that you believe the answer for exists, and I challenge you, like most of the things that people ask of you could be something that there's some form of a resource out there that could either eliminate the question altogether or answer the question altogether, or at least greatly reduce the time. And as Sheyaf was saying, like, the Givers and Takers is a great episode to reference and serve, create one, serve many as well, for sure.
So I think we are on time today. And I know this is a massive topic. We just graced the topic. But I'm sure, there was no particular order, but we've given a lot of tips. Let us know, if this was helpful. And this episode also, I'm not going to take a name. There is another friend of mine who actually listens, and he struggles heavily with this. I mean, when he will see this and he sees our videos, he listens to the podcast, but usually he listens to it late. But I'm going to leave it out there. So when you listen, you know who I'm talking to. And we'll have a discussion about this because he's my same age and he says the past 7 or 8 years this is what he's been suffering from. He just can't say no, and everybody takes him for a ride. Literally, he's traveled to places, to other cities because he could not say no. I'm not kidding, bro. This guy is like the epitome of not saying no. So anyways, bro, you know who I'm talking about. We'll have a discussion on this based on this episode as well. So guys, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this episode and you found value. Let us know what you think. Leave a comment, subscribe, DM us, and we'll catch you in the next episode. That's all from me and Kareem. Bye bye, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.